A creature the length of a school bus just grabbed a sperm whale, and the whale is losing. This is not mythology. This is Tuesday, somewhere in the North Atlantic, 3,000 feet below you right now. Fact number 1. The giant squid was considered pure fiction until 2004, then a camera changed everything. For literally thousands of years, sailors described a monster with arm-length tentacles that could drag ships underwater. The ancient Norse called it the Kraken. Medieval maps drew it circling the edges of the known world. Scientists in the 1800s quietly agreed it probably didn't exist. Then in 2004, Japanese marine biologist Tsunemi Kubadara and photographer Kyoichi Mori dropped a camera on a 900-meter line into the Pacific Ocean near the Ogasawara Islands and pulled it back up with 556 photographs of a living, hunting Architeuthis ducks, the giant squid, attacking bait in total darkness. The creature they photographed was roughly 8 meters long. The world lost its mind. Every horror story every sailor ever told suddenly had a receipt. The Kraken was real. It had just been waiting at a depth where no camera had ever reached. Visual note: show a split-screen infographic, left side a medieval Kraken woodcut illustration, right side the actual 2004 Kubadara photograph side by side, labeled and dated. No graphic content. Fact number 2. Giant squid have the largest eyes of any animal ever known to exist on Earth. We are not talking big eyes for a squid. We are talking the single largest eyes ever documented on any living or extinct animal in the entire fossil record. A giant squid's eye can measure 27 centimeters in diameter, that's roughly the size of a basketball. A human eye is about 2.4 centimeters. So a giant squid's eye is 11 times wider than yours. Scientists from Duke University published research in 2012 in the journal Current Biology arguing that eyes this enormous evolved for one specific purpose: detecting the bioluminescent flashes that sperm whales create as they swim through the deep ocean. The giant squid doesn't use its giant eyes to see clearly, it uses them as motion detectors to spot a predator that could swallow it whole, coming from 120 meters away, in absolute blackness. That single adaptation may be the difference between life and death every single day of this animal's existence. Visual note: display a to-scale diagram comparing a human eye at 2.4 centimeters, a cow eye at 4 centimeters, a giant squid eye at 27 centimeters, color-coded size comparison chart on a clean background. Fact number 3. Giant squid blood is literally blue, and that's actually why they survive the deep. Human blood is red because it uses hemoglobin, an iron-based protein, to carry oxygen through the body. Giant squid blood uses hemocyanin instead, a copper-based protein, which turns the blood a vivid blue-green color when oxygenated. This isn't a cosmetic quirk. Hemocyanin is chemically superior to hemoglobin in near-freezing, high-pressure, low-oxygen environments like the deep ocean. At temperatures close to 0 degrees Celsius, hemocyanin binds and releases oxygen far more efficiently than hemoglobin ever could. In practical terms, if a giant squid had red blood like you, it would suffocate in its own habitat. The blue blood is the biological key that unlocks access to one of the most resource-rich, predator-free zones on the planet. Many deep-sea creatures share this adaptation: crustaceans, octopuses, horseshoe crabs, but the giant squid's version operates at depths and pressures that would turn a human being's lungs into pancakes. Visual note: animated infographic showing hemoglobin molecule in red versus hemocyanin molecule in blue, with a depth pressure chart showing where each compound performs optimally. Fact number 4. Giant squid can grow to 13 meters and weigh 275 kilograms, but we've probably never seen a full-grown one. The largest confirmed giant squid ever measured was found stranded on a New Zealand beach in 1887 and recorded at 13 meters, about 43 feet, from the tip of its mantle to the end of its 2 longest feeding tentacles. That's roughly the length of a transit bus. Its estimated weight was around 275 kilograms, or 606 pounds. But here's the part that keeps marine biologists awake, that might not even be close to maximum size. Sperm whale stomach contents, which scientists regularly analyze after whale strandings, have yielded giant squid beaks measuring significantly larger than any beak from a squid we've ever found intact. Beak size scales directly with body size. The math suggests individual giant squid may exist at depths we haven't explored yet that are substantially larger than anything ever recovered. We have found the hat. We have never found the person wearing it. Visual note, scale infographic comparing a 13-meter giant squid silhouette against a standard school bus, a transit bus, and a human figure. Label all measurements clearly. Fact number 5, giant squid don't just have suckers, their suckers have teeth. This is the detail that makes everyone stop and reread the sentence. Each of the 8 arms of a giant squid is lined with suckers. So far, unremarkable, octopuses have suckers too. But giant squid suckers are rimmed with sharp, serrated chitin rings, essentially circular saw blades made of the same material as insect exoskeletons, that rotate as they grip and physically cut into whatever they're holding. Sperm whales that have survived battles with giant squid carry permanent circular scars across their heads and bodies for the rest of their lives, sometimes 10 centimeters across, from these toothed suckers. These scars are so distinctive and so consistent that marine biologists use them as a standardized measurement tool. The diameter of the scar tells you the approximate size of the squid that made it. Sperm whales are the only animal large enough and fast enough to reliably hunt and eat adult giant squid. Even then, it is genuinely not always a clean victory. Visual note, close-up diagram of a giant squid sucker, labeled cross-section showing the chitin ring teeth in detail. Also show an infographic mapping typical scar locations on a sperm whale silhouette. Fact number 6, giant squid can accelerate faster than almost any animal in the ocean, using jet propulsion. Giant squid don't swim in the conventional sense. They move by drawing water into their mantle cavity, the main body sac, and then explosively forcing it out through a muscular funnel called a siphon, which they can aim in any direction. This biological jet propulsion can produce bursts of speed estimated at up to 30 kilometers per hour, roughly 18.6 miles per hour. For context, Olympic swimmer Caleb Dressel, the fastest human being ever timed in water, maxes out at about 8.6 kilometers per hour. A giant squid can move more than 3 times faster than the fastest human swimmer in the world, in a body that weighs as much as a professional linebacker. The same siphon system also powers the squid's ink ejection. When threatened, they fire a dense cloud of ink and mucus from the same funnel, which doesn't just obscure vision but also temporarily disrupts a predator's olfactory sensors, essentially scrambling their sense of smell mid-chase. Visual note, speed comparison bar chart. Giant squid at 30 km per hour versus Olympic swimmer at 8.6 km per hour versus shortfin mako shark at 74 km per hour versus sailfish at 110 km per hour. Animated diagram showing the siphon jet propulsion mechanism. Fact number 7. A giant squid once attacked a French yacht, twice, in the same night. In 2003, 2 experienced French sailors, Olivier de Kersauzon and his crew, were sailing their racing trimaran Geronimo through the Atlantic Ocean on a Jules Verne Trophy round-the-world speed record attempt. Something grabbed the boat's rudder at night and refused to let go. When they shone lights into the water, they saw a giant squid, confirmed by de Kersauzon to be larger than the 18-meter boat itself in tentacle span, coiled around the rudder assembly. They managed to free themselves. It attacked again within hours. They diverted to port in Ireland and pulled the rudder out of the water. The bite and sucker marks left on the rudder hardware were documented and photographed. De Kersauzon, a decorated sailor with zero incentive to fabricate a story, stated publicly, "I've never seen anything like it. It was not going to let go." The event was formally reported and the physical evidence examined. This was not a story. This was a marine incident report. Visual note, infographic map showing the Atlantic route of the Geronimo, with the incident location marked. Show a labeled diagram of a trimaran rudder assembly for scale context. No violent imagery. Fact number 8. Giant squid may be capable of something scientists have never confirmed in any invertebrate, individual recognition. This is the fact that is actively dividing the marine biology community right now, and it might be the most significant of all. Giant squid have brains organized in a donut shape, literally wrapped in a ring around their esophagus, which means food physically passes through the center of their brain every time they swallow. Despite this anatomical constraint, Recent neurological analysis of giant squid brain tissue by researchers, including those publishing in the journal Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society B, has identified neural complexity that far exceeds what any predatory invertebrate should theoretically possess. Their nervous system contains more neurons than most vertebrate fish. They demonstrate problem-solving behavior in deep-sea observation footage. And most provocatively, some researchers analyzing long-term sperm whale behavioral data have found evidence suggesting certain individual giant squid appear to repeat attack behaviors in the same geographic zones over years, implying spatial memory and possibly individual territorial behavior. No invertebrate has ever been confirmed to do this. If verified, the giant squid wouldn't just be the biggest invertebrate on Earth. It would be among the most cognitively complex animals in the ocean, lurking in the dark, remembering, waiting, and learning. Visual note: animated diagram of the giant squid's toroidal, donut-shaped brain, labeled with key neural regions. Comparison infographic showing neuron counts, giant squid versus common fish versus human brain, as a proportional bar chart. Think about what we just covered. A creature that was considered mythology until 2004. Eyes the size of basketballs built to spot predators in pitch darkness. Blue blood that acts like a biological superpower. A body that might grow larger than anything we've ever recovered. Suckers lined with rotating teeth. Jet propulsion that outruns Olympic swimmers. A documented attack on a racing yacht, twice. And a brain that might be doing things no invertebrate is supposed to be capable of doing. The ocean covers 71% of this planet. We have explored less than 20% of it. The giant squid isn't the most terrifying thing we've found down there. It's just the most terrifying thing we've found so far. Subscribe to Moonlit Minds for daily mind-blowing facts that will change how you see the world.